Okay, under duress, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try my other staff announcer, Bob, from the other podcast, to try to introduce this show about the Three Stooges. Are you ready, Bob? Give me the paper. I know what to do. I've been doing it for 2 years now. All right, go ahead. 5, 4, It's time for a look back at the Three Stooges. N apostrophe Y-U-K. N apostrophe Y-U-K. All the eye-poking, head-ramming, hair-pulling excitement of Joe DeRita, Joe Besser. All right, that's it. Moe Howard, Shemp, and Larry Fine. And, of course, the beloved Curly, who we all remember so fondly. And apostrophe Y-U-K. And what are you doing? That's nyuk nyuk. Everybody knows that from the Stooges. Don't you sass me, bum. I've been in the business since 1964. Ah. It's the outdated entertainment hour. All right. As I mentioned earlier, one of the first things I wanted to do when putting this podcast together was do something about the Three Stooges. My favorite comedy theme of all time. Well, maybe that's not even true, but they were when I was a kid, and the love of them stuck with me my entire adult life to today. I remember when they revived the Stooges in the 70s on WPIX-TV in New York City. These shorts were woefully and cheaply edited. You wouldn't see every scene. Some people thought some of it was too violent. And they cut them up like a pizza pie. No good. Other stations like, I think it was Channel 38 in Boston, kept showing them for years on Sunday mornings. And they were pretty much unexpurgated. And that's the ones you want to see. You want to see them as they were originally produced. And in recent times, we've had IFC and American Movie Classics and people like that show some Three Stooges shorts, but they're kind of like filler. I don't think there's a regularly scheduled program. If there's a Three Stooges program on anywhere in the United States right now, I don't know about it. I'm not saying there isn't. I just don't know about it. But back in 2010, I was writing for a website along with two longtime journalism friends of mine, satirist Steve Rickey, he was a very funny man and a great writer and even a good news writer, and John Pine, who's done it all in publishing, from writing to editing to entertainment to jury stuff. He did it all. We all did it all, really, in our formative years. And in 2010, they brought out a brand new product, a DVD set called The Three Stooges Collection. It's got everything they ever did and stuff you don't even know exists. I think this is a great historical compendium of what the Stooges were about. So, I'm going to rejigger my original article and read it to you because you know what? This is the meat. This is the stuff. If you're into the Stooges and haven't seen them for a while, this is for you. If you don't know anything about them, this might be for you too. So sit down, have a beer or a soda or a glass of milk, whatever you like. And here we go. A look back at the one and only, should I say the sixth and only, Three Stooges.
This is Joe Walsh. One thing I do when I'm not playing rock and roll is get on the air as an amateur radio operator. Also called ham radio, is a communication service provided by ordinary people just like you and me. We have a national emergency communication system in place 24/7, 365. Find out more about amateur radio at arrl.org/ What is ham radio? See you on the air.
From June 29th, 2010, edited for current audiences. A few months back, my esteemed colleague, Steve Ricky, noted how the Three Stooges were so influential in his life. I now happily report that a significant moment in Stooge history was recently logged. It was in early June that the eighth and last in Columbia's lovingly digitally remastered box sets of complete uncensored and restored Three Stooges films, the Three Stooges collection, was issued on DVD. These 190 films have never been completely released on DVD before this. Ever. Combined with AMC's recent decision to return Stooge shorts to his regular lineup of classic films, there is, as seems to happen every decade or so, a serious case of Stooge mania going on. It couldn't have happened at a better time. For serious Stooge fans, these DVD collections are truly an answered prayer. The Stooge shorts have not only been released in chronological order, but many of these films have never looked so clear, and in some cases, new. The remastering job is not without its pitfalls. A couple of these packages come with 3D glasses for the films originally in that format, and they still look awful. As well, the overall remastering job is actually so good it reveals everything in pristine black and white, and stuff you really weren't supposed to see. That stuff includes pies being pulled from ceilings with strings, and what used to look like the flying Stooge head in the opening of the short called Spooks now show Moe, Shemp, and Larry in black cloaks running around as if they lost their minds, as if that's anything unusual. It's actually fun to see the old-time movie magic exposed, so look for that when you pick up this DVD set. So let us sing the praises of these master comedians who have been underrated since their heyday. But answer me this. Are television stations still showing Charlie Chaplin, the Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy? Yeah, time's go and go, and Stooge shorts are still being shown on national networks. Some of these films are a whopping 76 years old. It is testament to the Three Stooges' knockabout zany comedy that can still be appreciated and loved by audiences after such a long passage of time. The reason? The Stooges are damn hilarious, that's why. So here's a look at the sets one by one. On this original version of the sets, they were packaged several discs and with names on them. On the new DVD package, which we'll talk about after this passage, I'll tell you how they're packaged and how to find the individual episodes. So here's a look at the sets. Volume 1, which covers 1934 to 1936, begins with the first Stooges short, Woman Haters. A totally musical number where all the dialogue is sung. It's so stilted, it's a wonder the team ever got a second go of things. But things pick up with the boxing-themed Punch Drunks, featuring Curly in the ring, and the hospital parody Men in Black, which was actually nominated for an Academy Award. Indeed, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard is quoted to this day. And few of their shorts were ever funnier than this one. Volume 2 is 1937 to 1939. The Stooges, then comprised of Larry Fine and Moe and Curly Howard, find the formula, and it works like gangbusters. The knockabout, silly, slap-happy comedy that became their hallmark. Highlights here are Playing the Ponies, where the trio leads a nag called Thunderbolt, and Racing Glory. There's Healthy, Wealthy, and Dumb, where the three idiots win a radio contest and rent a snazzy hotel room only to discover after taxes they're as broke as ever. And there's Violent is the Word for Curly, which features the famous Bicky Bye song that everyone knows but still can't remember where it came from. If you're as old as I am, that is. Volume 3 covers 1940 to 1942. The team's getting more popular and the slapstick is getting more violent thanks to the burgeoning presence of director Jules White. But this still might be the Stooges' prime. The best here include the classic Nazi-era satires Are Never Heil Again and You Nazi Spy, and All the World's a Stooge, where Curly delivers one of his most manic and inspired performances impersonating a little kid. And Larry never looked more beautiful, even though he's wearing a dress. There's also Plumbing We Will Go, which might be the high point of the whole team's career. It's the classic Running from the Lost Stooge short, complete with wacky pratfalls, high society torn asunder, and the best plumbers who ever plumbed the plumb. We go on to Volume 4, which is 1943 to 1945. However, Curly really starts to fade during the set of DVDs. Also, Jules White directed They Stooge the Conga, which is nothing but garishly filmed violence, including Moe getting his eyes and ears poked with climbing spikes. And finally, for the first time, some of the shorts aren't that great. Titles such as Booby Doops and I Can Hardly Wait, finally, they're starting to miss their mark. Here's Volume 5 from 1946 to 1948, with the film Half-Wit's Holiday in 1946 exit a very weak and tired Curly and enter Shemp. The floppy-haired comic surely had his critics. Most of them claimed he wasn't the comic genius that Curly was. I don't know if that's true. Shemp brought his own manic energy and pretty much brought the trio back to life for the next couple of years. Included here are his debut with the team, which is Fight Night, which is nothing but laughs in a boxing ring, and Hold That Line, featuring a cameo by Curly, and yet another hysterical 2 minutes from frequent Stooge contributor Dudley Dickerson, one of the most gifted comic actors never to become a major star. Volume 6 from 1949 to 1951. Just as the TV era begins to heat up, the Stooges begin to slow down. Film studios aren't making many shorts at this point. The Stooges Studio Columbia was one of the last holdouts still putting shorts out. It's easy to see the budgets going downward short by short here on this set. Rekindled footage is showing up all over the place, like stuff that was in previous shorts being reused. And there are finally films that just aren't funny at all, and they're becoming increasingly disturbingly common. Wit is being replaced by violence and repeated gags and phrases. Shorts like The Tooth Will Out and Babysitter's Jitters are poorly directed and mirthless, but thankfully there's still some gems here. A short called Hoo La 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 breaks the code as one of the most original of all the Stooge shorts, a rare one of this period that doesn't go by the book. And Malice in the Palace ranks one of the best Stooge offerings of all time. Try not to crack up when the restaurant-owning Stooge supposedly serves up some sliced dog and cat to a pair of Arabian aristocrats. Volume 7, 1952 to 1954. Newsflash, bigger trouble in Stooge land. Even more budget cuts forced them to remake shorts from both the Curly and Shemp eras. A lot of them are pretty much a waste of time. For instance, Rip, Sew, and Stitch is an almost note-for-note remake of the earlier, funnier short Sing-a-Song of Sixpence, featuring Shemp, with just a couple of shots redone. Few film fans or distributors noticed the cost-cutting at that point because most theaters at that point were showing fewer and fewer shorts to begin with. What I'm saying is, if they took some footage from a short from 5 years earlier, who would know? It's not all bad. There are laughs here with the Western spoof shot in the frontier, and then Shemp tried to install a TV antenna and goof on the roof. But things are getting sloppy and sad. The totally witless Pardon My Backfire is all new but all unfunny, and Shemp and Moe is starting to look very old. Saddest of all, Shemp is starting to look very, very tired. Volume 8, 1955-1959, which is the final volume of Stooge shorts in the original set. Well, it's all over but the slapping for the troupe. Shemp suddenly dies. The first 16 shorts here with Shemp are again mostly remakes, and that's that for that era of the Stooges. He's replaced by veteran comic Joe Besser for the trio's final 16 shorts, after which Columbia shut down its shorts division forever. Even the supporting players aren't as good as they used to be. Long gone are Stooge legends Duke York, Dudley Dickerson, Simona Boniface, Bernadette, and Christine McIntyre. Hardy and versatile Emil Sitka, a Stooge fan favorite, helps. But other roles are filled by actors like the insipid Frank Sully, who delivers astoundingly awful performances. Jeez. During the Besser shorts, Moe and Larry seem to be trying too hard, gesturing and overacting like madmen, probably realizing their new fat foil wasn't up to the task. Besser, to his credit, was much more likable and funny working with Joey Bishop and Abbott and Costello. But he just seems out of place here. Final Stooge short, Sappy Bullfighters, are as bad as any movies ever released by a major motion picture studio. I love the Stooges, but I gotta be honest. As a Stooge fan that wanted to complete his collection, I purchased this set, but of the 8, this is the hardest one to recommend. Maybe it's nostalgia from my youth, waking up to watch a single Popeye cartoon and a Stooge short before heading off to school. Maybe it's longing for a simpler time. Maybe, secretly, there's a desire to bop my employer over the head with a lead pipe just to hear the beautiful steely bonk noise. Whatever the reason. These lovingly remastered, low-price collections are perfect for anybody who ever loved the Three Stooges, and how I do dearly love them. I believe that after all these years, I figured out the reasons why I love them so much. Moe, Curly, and Shemp Howard, as well as Larry Fine, Joe Besser, and Joe DeRita, the last Curly replacement, never became millionaires from acting as most of today's film stars do. Even as an old man before his death in 1975, Moe was always trying to find ways to keep the Stooges going and going. He reportedly was going to team with DeRita and Emil Sitka even after Larry could no longer go on. I get the feeling if Moe were alive today at 113 years old, he'd still be a member of the Three Stooges. From all accounts, Moe Howard, who was the brains of the group in real life as well as on screen, loved what he did every moment, every poke, every pie fight, and every slap. A magazine article printed just before Moe's death reported that the elderly comedian saw a child in a store, and at that moment he became a Stooge again, delighting the kid with impromptu crazy antics. Moe Howard was born to be a stooge. If someone loves what he does that much, he's got soul and heart. And those are attributes too few of today's entertainers possess. But I think it really all boils down to this. When the Stooges scene shifts to a hotel, and to let you know a sign is shown with the name of Hotel Costa Plenty, I still laugh like a hyena. Yeah, those corny old men still crack me up. May their heirs be richly blessed, every one of them. Dare I say, few people on this earth has given this writer more pure joy than the Three Stooges. May they poke, slap, gouge, and woo-woo-woo till the end of time. And if you don't get to the store to pick up these beautiful DVD collections, well, you're just a knucklehead. Well, the funny thing about podcasting, and there's a lot of funny stuff going on here, I'll tell you that much, but the thing is this. Right when you think you're finished, you're not finished. You know, I was putting together the show and discovered completely out of nowhere that, well, there's a lot of Stooge news. So I thought I would bring this to you as the secondary part of the show. And I hope this helps a lot of you out. If I've whetted your appetite to watch some Stooge episodes, well, I got just the places for you to go. Some of them are free. So here we go. Now, in this modern world, you know, we all watched on console TVs when we first saw the Stooges, right? But I will say that these days you can see them in better definition than you've ever seen them before, thanks to the miracle of streaming video. If you're up on these sort of things, I don't know if you are, given the age of our listeners probably, but if you have a streaming box like a Roku or a Amazon Fire Stick, go down the list, or a smart TV, look up a free streaming service called Tubi. Tubi. That's Tubi. Tubi. Go to their list of programming right when you log in or when you start the app. Go to the spyglass, which means you can type in what you're looking for and just type in the words The Three Stooges. And watch it all unfold, brothers and sisters. Watch it all unfold. You'll see a whole mess of Stooge content there, which we will go over. But before that, you'll see a black box. Look for this. It says the Three Stooges Plus Comedy Gold Standard. Now, when I first saw that on Tubi, I said, it's just another one of those documentaries or spliced together stuff with old public domain, clips. No, it's not. Click on it and you will see what's listed as 5 seasons, which confused me too. But it's all the classics, as far as I can tell. Now, I didn't count them, but it certainly looks like every single classic Columbia Stooge short is available to watch on Tubi, and the quality is exceptional. Now, there was one episode, Fiddler 3, that I couldn't get the sound to sync with the picture. There's a problem with that file, I guess. But all the others look and sound fabulous. I mean, it seems to be all the Columbia classics, from Woman Haters with Curly all the way to Joe Besser at the end. So how about that? Free, baby, free. I mean, that's awesome. And that's not all they have. They have gobs of Stooge content. They have the rare Stooge TV pilot from 1970 with Joe DeRita called Kook's Tour, where it was like a comedy travelogue featuring a dog named Moose. There's also a 1949 pilot with Shemp called Jerks of All Trades. It was a black and white, really grainy video, but it's well worth checking out for the history of it. See them redo a lot of their film bits in front of a live audience. There's also something that was on TV when they counted as the 75th anniversary of the Stooges. It's the Three Stooges anniversary special hosted by Woody Harrelson, and a bunch of celebrities are on it. If you've never seen it, check that out. From the 1960s, Tubi's has the new Three Stooges, those color cartoons that were voiced by Joe DeRita, Moe, and Larry, I should say. Curly Joe DeRita. Okay, we'll say it that way. Curly Joe DeRita, Moe, and Larry. Now, it's complete with those live action wraparounds with those corny musical backgrounds. But these were meant for kids. And, there's still some slapstick in there, and they're worth checking out just for the history of it all. I watched that stuff when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it since. And I just sit there with my mouth hanging open, to be honest with you. Tubi also has a 60 film with the Stooges called The Three Stooges Meet Hercules. There's a documentary of the Stooges from 1998 called The Three Stooges Family Album. It's got film clips, vacation, photos, home movies, and a lot more. There's a 1994 documentary called Stooges, The Men Behind the Mayhem, which I watched a while back. No real revelations there, but it's worth checking out. there is some new revelations in a 2015 documentary they just added called Hey Moe, Hey Dad. It's a biography from Moe's son, Paul Howard. It was a box set that was available for a long time. Now you can check it out for free on Tubi, and I do recommend that. Now, there's Stooge stuff all over the place. Like Apple TV has most of the Columbia Joe DeRita full-length films, like The Three Stooges in Orbit, The Three Stooges Meet Hercules, The Three Stooges Go Around the World in a Daze, which I think is their best feature by miles. They also have Snow White and The Three Stooges, which I wouldn't get near with a 10-foot pole, but hey, if you're a completist, check it out. And I think they're just available if you subscribe to that service. So that's pretty cool, huh? And that's not it, gang. Are you a Blu-ray fan? This is brand new information. Dig this. And I got to hand it to Sony/Columbia. They are not forgetting the Stooges, not for a moment. And it's a good thing because there's new things coming out all the time. July 23rd, a new box set of Blu-rays. Naturally, it's called the Three Stooges Blu-ray Collection. Check out what's in it. A 20-disc collection featuring 100 Stooge shorts, 20 more rare shorts with Shemp, Joe DeRita, and Joe Besser. The Three Stooges scrapbook, which is something a lot of old-time fans have seen and might want to see again. All 8 Columbia feature films starring Joe DeRita and Moe and Larry. And the gift set package features a button-activated sound chip with classic Stooge noises. So you can sit there and go whoop, 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 and drive your family crazy while you watch these DVDs. How cool is this? So that comes out, like I said, in July, on the 23rd, the Three Stooges Blu-ray collection. Okay, but what about regular DVDs, you ask? Well, I'll answer. That big box set that I reviewed on the show was called the Three Stooges Complete DVD Collection, obviously, from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. Now, that big box, I believe, is out of print because I only see it available from Amazon sellers on Amazon. But in more recent years, they have re-released the set as a smaller set in a smaller box that it still includes all the Columbia shorts, and it's readily available on Amazon or your local DVD store. That set, the new set, does not include the rarities with Shemp and DeRita and Besser that you may be interested in, but that's available as a set all by itself in a smaller box. You might want to check that out. I don't know if it's in print, but it is available through some Amazon sellers. Now, if you're not into buying big box sets, Columbia/Sony has done Stooges fans very well. There's all kinds of volumes of different years of Stooge shorts. So if you just want to see the Curlies, you can just buy those. If you just want to buy the Shemps, you can buy those. If you just want to see Joe Besser, buy that set. There's something for everybody on video in Stooge land out there, and thank goodness there is. I'm pretty sure that after I'm gone, don't want to be morbid, and after everybody listening is gone, just Stooges are still going to be around. They're going to last forever. I know there was the feature film reenactment of the Stooges about, I guess, 10 years ago at this point, but you know what? Well, I'm talking the original black and white shorts. They hold up. They're still funny. They're still some of the best stuff on TV. Let's hear it from all 6 of them. I don't know what to say other than the Stooge train is rolling on. So together we can all remain cuckoo on a choo-choo. Get it? Well, we certainly hope, despite our opener, that you've enjoyed the Outdated Entertainment Hour, all about the Three Stooges, where you can see them, what they've been through, the whole 9 yards. I'm glad I wrote that article way back when, because I get a chance to kind of recycle it for today's audiences, and I hope you are as fond of that wacky trio as I have always been. Our website is outdatedentertainment.buzzsprout.com. All of our episodes are there. If you don't feel like checking out all the apps, listen to it right there online. You do it in your browser and your phone even. outdatedentertainment.buzzsprout.com. Write to us. It's outdatedent at Gmail. Outdatedent, E-N-T, at Gmail. Find me on Facebook. You know, I was an entertainer myself, and on my page, I'm singing with B.B. King. It's Bob Smith. And if you see me and B.B. King, you know you're in the right place. I am against putting up dedicated pages for the podcast because it would just be redundant at this point. So check it out. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and other places as well. We hope you're enjoying the Entertainment Hour. We got some cool stuff. We're going to look at some live theater. We're going to look at other forms of music very soon, and the sky is the limit. I hope you enjoyed the Outdated Entertainment Hour. I'm Bob Smith, and as the legendary Ringo Starr always says with his two fingers in a V shape, peace and love. It's not outmoded as far as I'm concerned.